I'm gonna be 40 in April, bro.
You're getting up there, kid.
I remember being 25 at fucking TGI Fridays with you.
Two.
Yo. Yo.
All right, so I think it's going live, but the thing is, it's on YouTube. I'm just letting you know this time. It's on YouTube, and it's at the Let me see if it's up. Two.
Yo.
If it's on YouTube, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right.
I think I might be a little loud.
Let me see. How about now? Is it too loud?
How about now? Is it too loud?
1, 2, 2,
2, 1. Yo. I think that's pretty good.
All right.
Yo. What's it on? Pops Nutrition?
Yeah. Just I'm gonna see if it's up. If it's up, then we stuck, and you know what's up. Let me see. Go to the channel. Yep, it's live. We live, y'all. I'm gonna see if I can share it. Did I put the thing in there? Nope, I didn't put a description. Well, it's too late now. Let me see. Share. Messenger. I shared it with us. Who else? To my man. Who else? We gon' do it, baby. We going live, baby. We gon' do it, baby. I'm sharing it with everybody. There they don't know. Let's see if this dude's watching. See if my team is watching. Oh. Anyway, what's going on with you, man?
Nothing much.
What's been going down?
Just looking at the famous 44s, trying to find the name of the episode.
John Riggins, I told you, baby.
I don't know, dude. I just looked it up. Hank Aaron, Reggie Jackson, Willie McCovey, Jerry West, George Gervin.
It's your call. I don't care.
Pete Maravich.
I like John Riggins. Big John Riggins.
I don't got anything against Riggins.
Who'd you say? Hank Aaron?
Hank Aaron and Reggie Jackson.
Well, we'll give it to Mr. October too.
Yeah, you take the career of Hank Aaron, or you take what Reggie Jackson did in the playoffs. I don't know.
It's got to be one of them since we're going into baseball season. I'll let that rock.
We're gonna have to stew on that.
What do you mean?
I might have to be a local homer and go with my boy Brian Scalabrine.
Really? White chocolate?
What they call him? The White Mamba?
The White Mamba, a.k.a. I think they call him White Chocolate or whatever.
He's pretty. He gets into it with people in the comment section.
I think that's the name they gave him. I remember they were challenged, like it was like almost like a pros versus Joes, but cats thought they could go at him.
Yeah,
did you see that?
He goes at people in the comment section a lot
yo,
too. He's like, show up, I'll show you what's good.
And he did. I think he did that to some cats, and I was like, yo, because people, they never give like the professional. They're still a professional athlete at the end of the day.
Yeah,
you got to give them their props, man. You got to let them know. But anyway, what's going on with you, man?
Nothing much, man. Just working. You know how it is.
Making all the money.
Trying to get the bodega back in the mix.
Yeah. Why? What happened with that?
Nah, I just wasn't busy enough. You know what I mean? I had to be making more constant money, but
I was down there. I want to say 2 weeks ago on a Saturday.
Yeah.
It's popping.
I know. You might
want to jump back in there.
I tried to rearrange my stuff so I could be over there at least for the night that you were there. But
yeah, it's popping.
Maybe this weekend. I got something in the works too.
Yeah,
so.
Your boy, he be blessing me. He blessed me.
Yeah.
I did like a party, and then I did like, he was like, just stay for the night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was there for a grip, but it was dope. It was popping. And they told me like that Friday was crazy too.
Yeah.
The Saturday that I work, I think it was a little slower because the next day was the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think Heads was probably gearing up
We got to get you over for another
that
Saturday,
Sunday.
my man.
You know what I mean? But that's your boy's call. But you working hard, making all the money.
Yeah.
Where you at now?
I worked at the airport yesterday. So still trying to get you in that mix, my man. It's the easiest money ever.
That's not happening.
I'm telling you,
I can't
dude.
do those hours.
Nah, they're not all the opens, you know. You can do a different shift.
That
but
overnight is crazy, son.
yeah, I did that yesterday. Everybody that was feeling too sick to get up for the pod, I made it.
Yeah, because
I made it on no sleep.
Yeah, soldier.
Yeah, and then I'm still over at XO too. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
How's that spot?
It's good. It's like a late night spot. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? Like,
If you're thinking you're gonna get like just a reopening of the old spot, that's not what it is. Like the new owners, like they ripped the kitchen out, they put lounge space in. It's much more just like a cocktail
they're not serving
bar.
food?
Yeah, we have little like personal pizzas and like a hot
small
pretzel
stuff.
appetizer, but it's all stuff that the front of the house employees make for you. There's there's
okay.
no kitchen. You know what I mean? Like we got a little spot with like a toaster oven and
So
all
it's
that.
mad laid back.
Yeah.
That's dope.
It's either you come in for like a drink before you're going out to Mills or New Rivers or something like that, Cafe Nuovo, all the stuff that's in that area, maybe the Paint Bar, or you come in for the nightcap when you get out, or there's all like hospitality and late night.
What kind of crowd? Is it older, younger?
Nah, there's like everything, man. There's like the old heads trying to relive their memories from the old XO, and then kids that just turned 21 too.
cats.
Yeah, the sports and leisures across the street. You know what I mean? So you get the overflow from that.
Yeah.
So you're getting like the new generation of kids coming through.
Okay.
So
I see you, Dave Chen, my man. What's going on with you, Chen? Working hard. I see you, baby. What we talking about today, though, Ryan?
Man, I feel like we gotta catch up on the rest of the football playoffs, the Super Bowl.
I want to talk. What do I want to talk about? I do want to talk about this All-Star stuff, man.
Start out with the All-Star game.
Yeah, we got to talk about
300-something point All-Star game.
Yo, who was it? Somebody was saying, yo, the over's like 300. In my mind, I'm like, I don't think they've ever come that close to 300. It's always been like 140 and 40, right?
Yeah, like if you just asked me, not looking at any numbers, like what I would be like, I don't know, like that number seems about right. You know?
So I'm like, nah, it's not gonna go over 300. Yo.
Yeah.
When I saw like the score, I was like, what is going on? I wasn't like, what was going on? You know what's going on.
Yeah.
What's going on? Let me hear something.
I think they took a nod almost from like.
I see you, Kenny.
From like the football playoffs. You know what I mean? From the NFL, like they're like, all right, we're gonna play the flag football version of basketball. You know what I mean? Like we're not gonna crunch defense. Like we're gonna just let guys shoot threes down. We're gonna throw the alley oops up. Like I get it. It can be fun. It can be like a nice like brand building kind of thing for the athletes, like the guys with shoe deals and stuff. Like if they're savvy enough to like throw alley oops and posterize each other, you know what I mean, to get those sales up and those jersey sales and everything else. It's cool, but if you're looking for like a competitive basketball game, I think it's kind of just devolved into like.
But here's the thing:
a backyard fun time game, you know?
Okay, so if you're paying your money, is this what you want to see?
I don't know. Do you pay money to go to the All-Star game to see a competitive game, or are you just kind of there to like star search and autograph sign?
You might be right. You might be right. But you still want to know. I don't know. It just looks bad, man.
Yeah, I think there's like a better like.
The dunk contest is awful. What else is awful? It's just awful.
You know what you know what I think would be better? Like how they let like two captains pick teams, right?
They did that like a couple years ago.
Yeah, but I think you should like have like a bunch of like 3 teams, right? So you have like a 3-on-3 tournament, and like the guys, they like form their own teams or they draft each other or whatever, and you go through this little like mini tournament. Like I feel like that would be cooler, and guys would play harder and play against each other because it's like more of a smaller show. You know what I mean?
Is that
like
what the Ice Cube thing did? Is that what he's doing?
Maybe a little.
But he's got like the old, like the dudes that's retired.
Yeah, but just think about that. Like it'd be like LeBron, Steph, and I don't know, throw somebody else, and Kevin Durant or something like that. You know what I mean? And then like three other guys.
Win, though. You know who'd win.
I don't know.
No.
Maybe you let them call their own fouls or something like that, and the pride gets in the way where the refs don't come in to be an issue. I think that would be more exciting than just watching these guys have kind of like a what do you even want to call it? Like an exhibition. You know, that's all it is. It's more like watching the Globetrotters at this point than yeah, like
I don't know.
And kid. I think honestly, it's crazy that everybody gives the NFL so much flack about the game not being competitive, but I don't feel like there's as much hatred for the NBA's All-Star game not being as competitive. Like people are willing to accept the exhibition.
All right, let me ask you this: what's the angle? If you're a player in the league, why don't these dudes go hard?
I don't know.
What's your opinion?
Concern over injuries.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
That would be my number one thing.
You don't want to get hurt in this game.
For what? And for what? You know what I mean? Like, what are you getting paid to play in the All-Star game? Okay. I'm sure whatever bonus you get is incremental compared to your actual game salary.
So that's my argument, though. I have to look back. How many times has somebody gotten injured in the All-Star game, even when it was competitive?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I can't think of too many injuries that have happened in
shirts versus skins. But go ahead.
Like the only exhibition style injury that really rings a bell to me is when Paul George had that nasty leg break, but that was in international play.
Yeah, that wasn't.
You know what I mean? I can't think of any other type of exhibition event where somebody's gone down on a season-ending, career-threatening injury. You know, but the risk is always there, I guess.
So the same thing I would argue for the dunk competition. Why don't these guys get in it? Because what?
The dunk, I don't understand the dunk contest. To me, I feel like you practice dunking every day. Like, what are you really going to do? I don't know. Maybe all these 360s and windmills and stuff, you got more of a chance to hurt yourself too.
That's what I'm saying. But if it's not to get hurt, or is it because you're afraid to lose to?
That's what it is. You don't want to. Yeah, the pride is there.
Oh my goodness. So.
What's the kid's last name that won? McGloin?
Yeah, he was.
You think LeBron James wants to lose to some dude named McGloin?
He was in the
You don't want that. Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Don't you think it's kind of like run its course too? Like at this point, like the and one guys and the guys playing basketball on the trampolines dunk better than the dudes in the NBA anyway. So like if you're looking for the best dunks, it's not even in the NBA anymore.
All right, back to the original thing. Why do you have it? Just do away with it.
I agree.
And it might be even costing you more money to put this whole, because they go where? They have it somewhere, but they probably still, I
think the fanfare and the advertising is still worth it. Like you just don't even need the game anymore. You just need like a mid-season break where you get the guys together, they have parties, they do TV. I don't know. Maybe you do a skills competition or something like that, or I don't know what you do, but I think they've both run the course. Like this fake game that doesn't mean anything, and this dunk contest where like how many different kind of between the leg windmill jump over a guy.
Yeah, they were jumping over cars and everything at one point.
Yeah, like it's over. It's over. Yeah, like I'm.
So we're talking. How many years has the All-Star game been in existence? Now you're saying that there's nothing else they can do. It's over. That's where
I don't think there's nothing. I think they can reinvent like something like that tournament that I brought up or something. But this like iteration of it, who cares? You know, or make it like how baseball used to do, where you get home field advantage in the playoffs.
That's
if you
what I'm
win.
saying.
Like attach some type of meaning to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It has to be something on the back end to make it mean more. If they don't do something about it.
But even that though, put yourself in the shoes of the two top seeds, right? You want your home field advantage being determined by these guys having a good time playing a basketball game, drinking all weekend. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. It's like you said.
I don't think it's fair to the teams involved, because maybe you got one or two guys on that All-Star team that represent the eventual one seed, or not the one seed, the eventual team that goes to play for the finals.
They're gonna step.
You gotta assume they got a couple All-Stars on their team, right? So there'd be a couple guys on that team representing the potential finals candidate from the East and the West.
That's my point. So say if you're Steph Curry.
Yeah.
And there's a chance you could you can get home court advantage.
And now you're up everybody's ass.
You know you're going in. Exactly.
I think that, that's a possible.
So I would be like, yo, Bron, I know you're used to chilling, and this will benefit you too, Bron, if we get home court, because if either one of us come out of the West.
Well, especially the NBA, half the league makes the playoffs. If you're in the All-Star game, you got to think your team's got a chance to turn it around and be one of the top 8.
Here's why I always argue with people. I think that would work. You think that would work. Why won't the NBA adopt something like this? Because baseball seems to have that right in my eyes. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they do it? What's stopping them from doing something like this? Is it?
Did it ever? It never was attached to anything.
It's not. It's just like you said. It's just, oh, we're hanging out for the weekend.
It just used to be like, yeah.
And even some of the process now, some of these guys, I'm like, why are you even in the All-Star game?
You know what kind of like the last time I really remember like an All-Star game people going at it was when Kobe played.
Because Kobe was, you know how
But
Kobe came
look
with
at
it.
like the, yeah, but that's like it's sad. Like, I don't want to break it down to like the All-Star game is ruined because Kobe died in a helicopter crash. But
yeah,
he got his knowledge from MJ. Like, there was this lineage of knowledge coming down.
Who is the guy now?
Who did Kobe bless?
Who else?
Who did Optimus Prime give?
Yeah.
Give the core to? You know what I mean? It's like he died before he was able to like fully imprint the next guy. Like, there's people that say that they play for him. People, you know, like Jason Tatum rocks his armband all the time.
Yeah.
There's a few other older guys I think that still show love for him, but they never turned into that guy that's like, I'm not going out to the club.
Yeah.
I'm practicing at 5 a.m. I'm doing all this crazy stuff. I'm making deals with myself, and I'm not backing down from this. Like, who picked up where Kobe left off? And that, I don't know. I don't know who is the answer for that question. Like,
that's the thing.
Unfortunate.
So it revolves around, how serious do you take this thing? That's all it is.
Yeah.
Because that's the...
And how serious do all these cats take this now? That's the old man narrative on all these kids grow up as friends now. They all play in these tournaments together and they all know each other. There's no, I would never join up with this guy. They all switch teams so often. Like, is it just it's a new league where it's like you're not that psycho against the world kind of thing. You know, like it benefits you to politic because you could be trying to get that guy traded to your team in the next season or two.
So you're saying that the reason why they don't probably implement things and the reason why people don't play as hard is politics, you think?
And just like the new culture of the game.
So
everybody's so much more connected and hangs out now, you know? Like back in the day, it used to just every team had an alpha.
Like cats genuinely didn't like each other too. It's not like that now.
Yeah, like think those Pistons versus Bulls and Knicks. Like their teams, they're getting after. Now I just feel it's the same thing with football. Like they want more offense, they want more scoring, they want more glitter.
That's the ratings.
They don't want like that tough. And anytime anybody plays tough, they vilify him. They turn him into this thug, like
penalty.
Yeah. Penalty, suspension, terrible media coverage. You know what I mean? It's just everybody needs to be a choir boy now. You know,
and you can't. I feel like you can't I definitely feel like that with certain sports. You can't. That's the nature of that sport. It's just violent.
Yeah.
I won't say maybe basketball too. They be getting busy underneath. I don't know.
It used to be like that with football. Remember that dude? Who's the guy? Like Deacon Jones or somebody? Didn't he like break somebody's back? And he's like, "I'm not apologizing."
Oh no, that was the dude from the Raiders, and it was actually a dude from the Patriots
yeah.
I think the dude's name was like Darryl Stingley. He couldn't ever walk again.
And he's like, "You shouldn't have been out there if he couldn't have handled his business." You're like, "What, dude?" Like, and now you want these guys to be, you know,
choir boys.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just wanted to touch on that, man. That's crazy. You want to jump onto the football real quick?
Yeah.
What'd you see, man? Where you want to start? I'm gonna let you start. Wherever you start, I'm gonna jump in. Where do you want to start? I'm gonna see if I can get some more people on the.
Going back? I don't think we talked about Dan Campbell's crazy decisions to kick field goals and not kick field goals and go for it on fourth down. We didn't talk about.
Oh, the Detroit thing.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Lions Niners. We didn't talk about Ravens Chiefs.
Lamar Jackson. It's awful. That is just awful.
Bro, I don't know. As much as all this praise about the Chiefs is going on, like if you go back and you watch that Ravens game,
yeah,
there is pass interference on every time Lamar throws the ball.
What?
Like,
Is that what you're going to do?
That is what I'm going to do.
No, Lamar's, he didn't show up.
Do you see the stat that came out? 3 Super Bowls, the Chiefs have been called for 0 holding penalties. There's holding on every play in the NFL.
Don't tell me you're going to be one of these guys.
Nah. I'm not going to be one of these guys, but to me,
it does look a little funny.
Yeah, like.
But is that determined? Because I feel like Baltimore had opportunities. Lamar had opportunities. He just didn't. He wasn't.
They had a terrible game plan. I don't know why they just didn't run. Like just keep running it. Who cares if it's 6-3 at the end at halftime? You know what I mean? Just keep running the ball. Like I feel like that would have been a better recipe to go at them. Especially Kansas City was missing. I feel like they lost a defensive end and a linebacker.
Yeah.
In
your boy just can't. I felt like they were going blow for blow. Defensively, I felt like the first half Baltimore wasn't really on point, but then the second half they came out and they held them. So I'm like, okay, now Lamar just has to get busy. He never did.
And he never did it, yeah.
He never did. So now I'm like, and the other thing, the problem I have with that is I want to say they gave him the MVP like a week later. How do you look at that MVP now?
I think that's
do you understand what I'm saying?
That's another thing that needs to be restructured, I feel like. Like, you don't give the MVP award for, like, just the regular season.
Either do one for the regular season at the end of the season. Yeah. That's it. And then playoffs would be something different. Because now I'm looking at him.
There's no playoff MVP, though. It's just the regular season and the Super Bowl MVP.
It is awful.
That's it.
I'm like, because to me, part of it is when we needed you to show up, the most important game, what happened?
Yo,
what happened?
You know who I want to give flowers to? What happened is the defensive coordinator for Kansas City, Steve Spagnuolo.
Spags.
He has ruined 2 Super Bowl Sundays of my own, just being on those 2 unfortunate Giants teams.
Yeah,
and he's a killer.
Why isn't he a head coach? I don't understand.
I think he was Sam Bradford's coach for the Rams. I think that's the last time he took a head coaching job. But
why isn't he the head coach for a squad? He has the resume. He's got 4 Super Bowl rings now, or maybe 5, because he has 2 with the Giants, right?
2 with the G-Men and 3 with
the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So and
he's building an impressive resume. He's been going down as like the all-time defensive coordinator. Like,
because I also feel like people keep talking about Mahomes. Don't get me wrong. Mahomes is that dude. But that defense looked crazy.
Yeah.
They look crazy.
The D was good. Chris Jones, he had a hell of a game.
Yes.
Like, he definitely was it this season or last season that he held out? I think it was last season. He was a holdout, and everybody was giving him flack.
It was the beginning of this year.
But
it was at the end of last year.
How many people ever hold out, and it's actually worth it to pay him? Like, that's a rare rose that came through too. You know what I mean? Like, he missed the first 4 games. You know, just trying to get his bread, putting the team in like a salary cap predicament almost, and like he's one of the shining stars to come through in the playoffs. So
what did you see? So we went to that game.
And getting back to the Ravens, right? Now Lamar, he took all the money, just like Josh Allen, right? So all that guaranteed money is now kicking in. I think Lamar's kicked in this season, and Allen's is going to kick in next season. So now these guys, it's only going to get incrementally harder for these guys to fill a roster out full of superstars.
Because he's taking the money
around them, because now they're such a huge part of the team's salary cap.
Taking the chunk out.
Yep. So it's only those 2 teams. Like, I wouldn't bet on them in the future. Like, they're going to have to make massive changes. They're going to have to restructure guys. They're going to have to cut guys. They're going to have to get younger. That's what they call it when they get rid of all the veterans and bring in all the rookies instead. You know, like.
But who's in their division? You're gonna say Pittsburgh's gonna whack them?
I mean, they're in a rebuild. Maybe
Cleveland.
Nah, because they're gonna get Deshaun Watson.
Or the Bengals. I don't know. Like, if I'm still Baltimore is still in that division to me.
And now look at what the Bengals are going to have to do in free agency. They paid Burrow, right? They paid Chase, and now they're going to have to franchise tag T. Higgins at like $20 million.
That's my point.
So how are they going to fill the rest of their...
Everybody's your argument, but everybody's in that same boat.
Yeah. I mean, I see Bengals and Ravens in that division for the next 2 or 3 years until the other 2 teams get it straightened out.
If Burrow can stay healthy, man.
I think the Browns are just a show. The Browns are a showing of what happens when you give that $40-50 million contract to a quarterback, because they're in the middle of that Deshaun Watson deal now, right? So like
but they made noise this year.
Yeah, they made noise with Flacco.
Yeah, that's
they made noise with a guy off the couch. Like
that's what I'm saying. So if you give them if they get a quarterback in there, or if D-Watt is a portion of what he used to be, they'll be dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, I just haven't seen him playing good football.
No, he hasn't.
How many years has it been? Like 4 years?
Yeah, I think he might. He might be done.
I mean, he can't be done with all that money. Like that's a huge cap hit to eat.
Yeah, but I feel like these guys have so much money.
And you know what? What's another thing not to be discredited? The Patriots poached their offensive coordinator.
Oh, Mayo went after their coordinator?
They took their offensive. The Patriots took the Browns' offensive coordinator.
They did.
So now Deshaun Watson's going to have to learn a new offense. Blah blah blah. So
I think they'll be all right because their defense is. I think their defense was like top 5 all year.
Yeah, they're doing good.
So that goes to show, like, if you have a decent defense, your offense could I don't know. But anyway, what did you see in the Super Bowl? I know we're a little late with the Super Bowl, but what did you see?
Man, I feel like I can't go and watch my dad's team with him because they lose every time. You know what I mean? I went over my pop's house to watch Garoppolo make the overthrow. Who do you overthrow? Kittle
I remember
to lock
that
the game down.
I remember that.
I was there for that.
I was at my man's house too. I'm like, yo, I remember that play.
I was there when they shut the lights off. Right, Ravens, 49ers.
Yeah, that
was
the
brother
brothers,
coaches,
the brothers,
and then this most recent one. So I'm not going to watch any more Niners Super Bowls with my dad. Maybe I'll get to see another one before.
Did you think that was it? That's what happened? You think you have a curse?
Nah, I just think that. Well, I don't know. I definitely think that
It went how I thought it was gonna go.
Yeah,
if
but
you asked me in retrospect.
I went back and watched the game. Though. It's like, dude, the refereeing in football is it's either atrocious or it's suspect. Which one do you want it to be?
I can't
because you go back and watch the first half and go back and watch the second half. The stuff that they let slide in the first half, they throw flags on in the second half, and it just seems to always be at this convenient time to make the game more exciting and make it tighter at the end. Like, I'm not going to say that it's rigged, but I'm going to say that they try to make it as exciting as it can be coming down to the end. And it's like, I'm sitting here on Super Bowl Sunday watching. I'm into like the fourth quarter. I got to wake up early as hell on Monday morning to go to the airport. I'm watching a game with my dad, and I go, this game's going to go into overtime.
You said that.
There's no way. There's no way possible that they don't make the game go into overtime. That's what ended up happening. And it was an exciting game, and all the casual fans woke up the next day like, oh my god, it was so compelling.
That first half was doo-doo. You gotta admit that.
Yeah, like my chatter with the game was that this was similar to the Patriots-Rams Super Bowl, where it was like that defensive standoff.
Which one? The one with McVay?
The most recent one.
Okay.
The one where the greatest tight end of all time catches a pass down the seam to ice the game.
Who's the greatest tight end?
That's Super Bowl.
Who's the greatest
Robert Gronkowski.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that to Kelsey.
Don't do that to Kelsey.
Don't do that to Kelsey.
See, bro.
Go ahead.
Show me an outfit of Rob Gronkowski wearing a glitter-studded sweatsuit.
Why are you hating on the kid? Before it's all said and done, he's going to break all of those records.
I don't care. I don't care. Show me what he does in the run game. Show me.
I think he does.
Show me a highlight reel of Travis Kelce doing the stuff that doesn't show up in the stat sheet. Rob Gronkowski. Show me Travis Kelce being the 6th offensive line.
I can't rock
Show
with
me
you
that.
On that.
Show me that. That's what a well-rounded tight end does. Travis Kelce is just a glorified wide receiver.
No,
that's all he does.
Don't do
you ever
that.
see Gronk blow up at Belichick on the sideline? Gronk throws people out the club.
I can't defend him for that.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all.
I didn't like that either, but I don't know. I rock with Kelce. Like, I traded for him in my dynasty league. Like, I root for him every Sunday. But if you're gonna stack him up against Gronk for like all-time moments for game-changing things,
I think he is.
He's number 2.
No,
he is.
I can't rock with you on that. No way.
Let's go back.
Kelsey's that dude.
Let's go back and watch the last AFC Championship game that Mahomes and Brady played when Brady was still on the Patriots. Travis Kelce has like 2 first down two third down drops that would have created first downs and changed the entire landscape of the game. And then in the Super Bowl again, when they play each other, when Brady's on the Bucs, he drops 2 passes as well that would have completely changed the thing in the game. Go back and show me passes in the Super Bowl that Gronk drops.
I can't rock with you.
Show me Gronk drops in the playoffs. Show them to me. The only one you can find is the deflection in the second Giant Super Bowl where he almost grabs it at the end. That's it. Other than that, it's money. It's money. I can see it in his angel mitts dropping in there for first downs and game sealers. And Kelsey's just Chad Ochocinco. That's it.
No, don't do that. I don't do that. And I'll say this. Kelsey, you got to keep in mind, we're arguing this, and he's still playing. You got to keep that in mind.
That's all right.
I'm telling you.
You know why he's still playing? Because he doesn't block in the run game.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Because Andy Reid's smart enough not to have him out there blocking on field goal units.
I'm not San Fran. Kansas City has a really legit run game. They do. You can't tell me Kelsey's not blocking for him. That's part of the DNA.
Nah,
I can't rock with you. I can't rock with you. You can't veto. I can't rock with you. I'm with you, C Boogie. Kelsey, baby. I think he's the guy. I hate to say it, too, because I don't like the antics that went on this year, but you got to give it where it's due.
Also, dude, if you put Kelsey on another team where he's forced to actually know the routes that he needs to run, like all of his stuff is in like when the play breaks down and Mahomes needs like a safety blanket. I'm telling you, a ton of Kelsey's yards and catches is all stuff when the play breaks down and Mahomes is running outside the pocket. None of these things are like listening to the play, dissecting what the quarterback is saying, and being in the spot where you need to be because the ball's coming to you. Like it's all this like you put Kelsey on a team where he needs to be where he needs to be, or he's on the bench and he's not going to be as successful as he is with Mahomes just dinking and ducking it to him.
No way.
Yeah.
No way. You never said to yourself, with Brady, if Gronk wasn't there, they wouldn't have won. If you take Kelsey out of that team, there's a chance that in your mind you're saying Chiefs wouldn't win. I'm telling you.
I'm trying to find the TV to cast to turn on the 28-3 comeback when Brady does it with 3 white wide receivers and James White.
I'm saying
he won the Super Bowl without Gronk.
That's my point I'm trying to say to you. I'm saying you can't say that for Kelsey. Kelsey has to be in that offense in order for them to win. That's the point I'm trying to make to you. Like, if you take Kelsey off of that offense, they lose that game. You take him off in the Baltimore game, they lose that game. Kelsey's
I'll give you that. And you know what games they also lose because of Travis Kelce is that AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl that I just told you about. Because Travis Kelce drops the ball in the postseason. Bro, I'm going to come back here with highlight tapes next time and make you eat it.
I think Kelsey's the guy. I think he's the guy. I think he's one of the sole reasons they won that Super Bowl. And that's just my
he had a great playoff run. I'm trying to give him his flowers in the most way possible, except when it comes time for Gronk to come in the room. Then he can have all the flowers. That's it.
So here's the thing. If my man just put up a point, you're gonna use blocking against him?
Dude, I'm so tired of this argument. Who said that? He's done with football. You're done watching football. Blocking doesn't matter in football. Blocking doesn't matter in football.
For Kelsey, though, you're gonna use that and say, and you can't say he doesn't block. He has probably blocked, but you're saying that's the argument that you have against him.
Somebody has to have made a tape about this. Some other Rob Gronkowski supporter has to have made a side-by-side tape about this. I'm gonna find it.
All right, let me ask you this.
What does it matter if the tight end blocks?
Right,
are you kidding me? This guy watches the All-Star game and says that it was a good game.
Let me ask you this. If Mahomes wins another Super Bowl, what are we talking about?
I'm talking about Mahomes should have 2 more Super Bowls if it isn't for Kelsey dropping the ball. He'd already be two more closer to Tommy, and Tommy would have 2 less. That's what I'm talking about. And Mahomes is going to get another one.
You think so?
Yeah. What's going to happen when they sign Mike Evans in free agency?
You think he's going there?
You think Mike Evans is going to stay in Tampa?
I thought he had good chemistry with your boy Mayfield.
I heard that they're looking at what's his face, Kirk Cousins.
Do the Chiefs have the money? I don't think they have the money.
Well, I don't know. That may be
because Mahomes took that crazy deal a couple years back.
Well, Mahomes can always restructure. Because Chris
they
Jones
got Mike Evans money.
Chris Jones is a free agent.
Do they have Mike Evans money?
I don't know. Maybe because they didn't spend that money on DeAndre Hopkins. Maybe now a few more years down the line. I don't know what their cap number is, but I do know that they have Snead, one of their cornerbacks, is a free agent. Chris Jones is a free agent. He's going to want like 20, 25 million.
They're not getting rid of Chris Jones. Can we agree on that?
I don't know, man. He's getting kind of old. He's like, how old is he? I think he's like 35. You're gonna give him a contract until he's like 38 years old.
He still was that dude for you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I had it pulled up on my.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna flip it for
Chris Jones is 29, so he's not that old.
Yeah, he's not old.
But he's old. He's old in running back years.
All right. So we're going at the Chiefs, and I'll give you a little grace on that. What did you're not beating up San Fran for me. You need to beat them up. The coach.
No, I think
they're not knowing the overtime rules.
I think they were a Cinderella story, a glorified Cinderella story. The whole.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. They were the best team in the NFL this year. You know who's a better team than San Fran this year? Name a team. Nah,
I just think that they were I think we all got caught up like not looking at like strength of opponent and stuff like that.
No, they were the best team in the NFL this year. I don't even think it was close. And the Chiefs looked awful. They looked awful at certain points. Yeah, but you can't.
Okay, that's fine, but essentially, I feel like when you're looking at the playoffs, like the first 3 quarters of the season don't even really matter anymore. Like who's playing their top football now?
I can't rock with you, man. You're on fire today.
How can you not rock? You think week 1 matters when it comes to trying to figure out who's playing their best ball 17 weeks down the line?
Let me ask you this though.
It's about who's got it together now when the playoffs start. You know what I mean? Like the Chiefs got it together when it mattered.
Okay.
And that's what we're waiting to happen with Lamar. We're like, oh, he's just playing. He's chilling. When it comes time, he's gonna
turn it up.
And
it didn't work.
Yeah.
But still, what did San Fran do wrong?
I
got a list. You gotta keep it a buck.
Yeah.
Because they were up.
I think
they were beating them 10-0. It was 10-0, 10-3. Like they were right for the cooking. You had them dead to right.
They both teams that lost the champion. Not both teams. I don't know what I'm trying to say. They just didn't run the ball enough. You know what I mean? You have a lead like that, just kill the clock. Keep killing the clock. Any time that the clock is ticking, what Patrick Mahomes does not have the football in his hand, that's how you beat him.
This is what I'm going to say.
Like clock management, possession control.
Shanahan,
like that's what they needed to do, and they blew it at the end.
Coached by a veteran coach, old school coach. He's
Andy Reid's one of the best coaches of all time.
That's what happened. I don't care what. And you could, even from the certain rules that in overtime, you take the ball. You're giving the team.
You take the ball and you never give it to Christian McCaffrey.
You
didn't run the ball enough. You didn't run the ball enough against New England.
That's one. You're giving the Chiefs an extra down on the back end.
Yeah.
And they're gonna watch you. So then when they get the ball, they know what they need to do.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. You have to have respect for Mahomes. He's a Brady guy. So you think into your head, I'm like, if he gets the ball last, you know what's going to happen. You know what he's going to do. In slow motion, you watched it happen.
I've been trying to find this word in my head this whole podcast. Somebody, I forget who said it, but they said they're not ready to crown him the GOAT, but they're ready to say that he's the best improviser of all time. And that's the word I was looking for when I was talking about what he does with Kelsey.
Yeah.
Because he's not like, you be here now. You know, on my third step, I need you here. It's when he escapes the pocket.
They know where they're in sync with each other.
Exactly. They have that. And I'll give that to Mahomes. When he runs outside the pocket, I'm like, oh, no. Oh, no. You know, and
go ahead.
Look who the hell, besides Kelsey, who the hell was he throwing the ball to?
That's what I'm saying. That Rice cat. I didn't even know who these cats were.
He came on like the last 3 weeks of the season.
I didn't know who these people were. I didn't know who that guy was. And then the Valdez, he's just started catching balls to me. Like all season, you're not catching balls.
He was more of a drop.
Yeah,
like, he's more of a scapegoat than he was the guy. Like, but he had that. Valdez Scantling had that big catch. Did he seal the game against the Ravens or against the? Who'd they play in the first round?
I don't know.
He had some. Maybe it was late in the season, but I just remember him falling back and grabbing this big. Like he hucked it up and he grabbed it.
That's what I'm saying. They did turn it on, but I think San Fran made a lot of. It was to me like mental errors.
Has Shanahan's time?
And this
have they run the course? Whose decision was it to trade all that capital for Trey Lance? Imagine it. Look at how good their defense is. You know who was in that draft? Micah Parsons. Imagine if you took Micah Parsons instead of sending all that capital for Trey Lance instead, and you had him on the team. I'm sure there's other receivers, running backs, everything.
So here's what I'm also leading to. He turned around and fired the defensive coordinator dude.
Yeah, his name is Steve Wilks.
Why?
I don't know. Scapegoat.
He was one of the only reasons you were in that game. Oh my God.
He's like, I don't know, man. He feels the pressure. He sees Bill out there, and he's like, I got to do something to take this heat off of me because Bill's gonna come and take my job.
Wow. No, Bill. No.
Imagine, bro. Imagine he steals that Super Bowl from you after being you're up all that, and then they fire you and they let him have your team, and he fixes everything.
I don't like that culture, like how he did him like that. I just don't.
Well, yeah, I think especially if that's supposed to be like your boy, like you hire your friends and stuff like that. Like every position has now been filled. So you fired that guy. Now, essentially, what? He's not.
Where's he going?
He'll
probably find a job.
He either has to go back to the college ranks, or he's going to have to take a demotion and be like a linebackers coach or something like that instead for a season. You know what I mean? And build his name back up. But yeah, that doesn't do right with me. And you see, that's almost like some like Isaiah Thomas stuff, where like you do that as an organization, and now the incoming players say, okay, they do him dirty like that. I got that in the back of my head when it comes time for me to make a decision between this team or that team. The money's the same, but these guys have demonstrated to be snakes in the past. So I think I'm gonna rock with these guys with like a cleaner track record, you know, like.
So back to your original argument, has San Fran run its course? I don't think they can get any better. Like,
well, I think they're in trouble, man. Like they got to figure out. I don't know. Again, I look at salary cap numbers and stuff before I came over here, but I know Ayuk is a free agent.
Boom. So they're not signing him.
And he's kind of, I feel like he's kind of been chatting a little bit on Twitter, like
yeah, they're gonna let
kind
him
of being mad about something.
Yeah.
Dre Greenlaw and Juszczyk, they're saying are probably going to be cuts just because of like
Juszczyk's gonna get cut.
Salary cap stuff.
He's gonna get cut.
And what now? And now you're what? Now you're just back with Purdy, Debo.
And McCaffrey. That's the sauce.
That has been the sauce, but I feel like ever since they brought McCaffrey on, Debo hasn't been like that Sports Center kind of name. Yeah, you know, like he's a contributor. I'll take him on my team any day. But there was a time where Debo was that jackknife. He would be lining up in the running back position and making big plays. Then he'd go out wide, and then he'd do this, and then he'd do that. Now McCaffrey's like their straight up running back, and I just don't like Debo. I don't know what it is. He's just he's almost more of like Kelsey, like he's more of an improvised guy than he is like a straight route run. Be here when I need you to be here. And I don't know does Purdy have that improvisational magic to be taking advantage of these players? I think he's more of a system guy. So if you're going to lose Ayuk, who is the route running, I'm going to be where I say I'm going to be at this time.
I'll rock with you
on this drop. Like, who are you going to replace him with now? And maybe that will be better because now you're forced to run the fucking ball.
Boom.
And I feel like Shanahan, if you ran the ball more,
he abandoned that.
You didn't give the ball to McCaffrey nearly enough in the second half of that Super Bowl. I don't think you gave it to him at all in overtime. Or maybe you gave it to him on like a long third and something, and he got eight. And
I think he passed it to him, and he ran up the sideline for a couple joints. I could be wrong.
But I don't know. I just remember even my dad being like a hardcore Niners fan. Even he was like, give the ball to McCaffrey, run the ball. Yeah. And I was like, dude, I can't. And I didn't want to start chirping at him, but I was like, this is the 28-3 comeback all over. He's the coach for the Falcons.
Yeah.
At the 28-3, right? Or is he the offensive coordinator?
Oh, Shanahan?
Yeah.
No. I think it was.
No, you know who the coach is? The defensive coordinator for the Seahawks that we beat in the Super Bowl becomes that coach,
he
Dan
was the
Quinn.
Head coach. Quinn.
Now he's the coach of the Redskins.
Quinn was the guy. He got smoked.
But I think Shanahan was the offensive coordinator. He was Matt Ryan's offensive coordinator in that Super Bowl.
He was?
Yeah.
That is awful.
Like it's him and Matt Ryan. Him and Matt Ryan's work together. That's his resume to become a head coach, right? Because Matt Ryan was like a.
Matt Ryan was that dude.
He had a decent career for like 10 years, however long he played in the league.
He just was on the wrong end.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
So I just think you put it all together. You had Mr. Irrelevant getting beat by somebody who's like in the conversation to be the best quarterback ever, and you have what looks to be somebody who should just be an offensive coordinator in Shanahan getting out coached by somebody who's in the conversation to be one of the greatest of all time. You know, like, and then you throw Kelsey in there. He's in the conversation to be one of the greatest of all time.
So you got all goats on this side.
And you see Kittle, and what? You stack everybody up. Kittle's probably the one that can hold his own against Kelsey the most, and they shut his ass down. He had like two catches on 4 attempts for like nothing, you know?
And you even argue, like you said, Spags, too.
A lot of GOAT potential on that team. So when you say what's going to happen when he gets another one, as long as they keep Mahomes, healthy. Andy Reid, Spagnuolo, as long as those guys are all together, they're going to be fine. That's going to be a problem. Because they've been in
that division. Who's in that division?
They've been in the league for so long too. Like they're not going to shoot themselves in the foot making bad salary cap moves. Like who was in the beginning of the season? We were hating on them for not going after DeAndre Hopkins, for not going after Odell Beckham Jr. For not.
You were when you saw them dropping balls. Yeah, I thought.
Well, no, I definitely.
You're saying before that. Were you making that
in
argument?
the offseason, I thought that the Chiefs needed to do something at wide. I thought that they were leaving Patrick Mahomes out to dry.
I thought when they were dropping balls, I'm like, why didn't they grab this guy or grab that guy?
Even at the deadline, you had a chance to go get DeAndre. You could have went and got him, but then now you got 2 years at $20 million. They gave him bread in Tennessee.
Imagine if they did have that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think the narrative around Hopkins' decline would be different if he was playing with Mahomes instead of Tannehill and who's the other guy? Some rookie dude, right? Will Levis.
Wow. All right. So we might as well. Who you taking? I don't want to jump off the Super Bowl, but it's an afterthought. You as a Patriots guy, who you taking in the draft?
Oh, that's a good transition. For a while, I said I think that you should just. I was like, take the best player available. Who cares about anything else? And for a while, to me, that's been 3. For a while, to me, that's been Marvin Harrison Jr. Right? Take the best player available. If you don't have a QB, you're just wasting the wide receivers. You know what I mean? Like how many awesome college wide receivers are in the NFL right now on teams without quarterbacks? So they're not doing anything. They're not making a difference. They're just being stat sheet fillers essentially. Okay. You know what I mean? So
who are you taking?
Every time Bill did this, I said, what the hell? What the hell? But the cupboard has been left so bare. If you can get multiple first rounders to get off that pick and not have to try to find the best quarterback between 3 or 4 guys that are in the mix. Yeah. Right? I think maybe I would take that.
So you're taking what, a quarterback?
No, I would trade. I would continue. I would trade out of the pick. I don't think you're going to do Marvin Harrison.
Well, Belichick would do that.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. I used to hate it when he did that because I would say you have Tom, surround him. You spend the money, put the studs around him. What are you doing? Stop relying on him so much to make everything okay. But in this situation, I feel like the cupboard is so bare right now. I'd rather have extra draft picks going forward and see what the new brain trust
How do you feel about the Mayo cat?
I don't even think if you take a rookie quarterback and put him on a bad team, most of the time you ruin him anyway. You know what I mean? Like look at all the times Detroit did it. Look at all the times Detroit took a quarterback high in the first round. They just got him beat up for 3 seasons. Now the dude's brain's been banged against his skull too many times.
They're doing that right now.
So you got to. I think you have to have things in place first. Like you need. It's almost like the Kansas City model. You had a decent team where, what's the guy's name that broke his leg?
They got lucky though with Mahomes.
They didn't get lucky though. They traded up and took him.
And got him.
They went up and got him. They had Alex Smith. They were playoff.
They were playoff contenders too.
You had a journeyman. You were able to sit the guy and let him learn a little bit. You know what I mean? Eventually, I think Alex Smith got hurt, and it wasn't. They made the decision easy. Alex Smith gets hurt. Patrick Mahomes comes in. He lights it up, and you're like, "Sorry, old man." And
then he retired.
I think didn't he go to play for somebody else, like break his leg really bad or something? He had like a really bad leg break late in his career.
But either way, you got
getting back to the Patriots and Mayo. I like that the Patriots did what they said that they were going to do, in the fact that you told Mayo, look, we're going to pay you more to be a coordinator this year. You are the succession plan. But to me, you couldn't have predicted the Titans letting Vrabel go. And to not even talk to Vrabel, I feel like you did a disservice to your fan base. Like,
does Vrabel want to come back here?
I love Vrabel.
No,
like,
I'm saying, do you think he wanted to come back here after being in Tennessee?
You think he wants to not be a coach?
No, I'm saying, I feel
when
like
he came back this season and got inducted into the Ring of Honor, and every time he spoke of anything, he said we. Like, he was still on the Patriots. Like, that was a big knock against. Not a big knock, but people were bringing it up. Like, yo, you're still a current head coach, and you're saying we.
What I'm saying is, people look at coaching like it's an honor. I still think you're strategically saying to myself, can I win with this team? I believe that. I believe that Vrabel probably was looking at if he.
The Patriots didn't take any interviews.
Oh, they
just went on with the succession plan of Mayo. That's what I'm saying. You did a disservice to your fans by not even talking to Vrabel.
Was he available at that time?
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't even have a job right now.
No, that was timing. Did he get fired after that or before that?
He was available.
Oh.
Bill was one of the last coaches that was the last decision to be made. They made that decision in like the off season, like late into the off season. And if you know your Patriots lore, there's all these stories about how Vrabel and Bill used to go back and forth in the defensive meeting rooms, and Vrabel would be like, this is the way to beat this team, and Bill would be like, nah, this is the game plan. Vrabel would be like, nah, this is, I'm telling you, this is what we need to do against them. And so instead of taking like a Bill disciple, now at least you had somebody who wasn't afraid to go toe-to-toe with Bill. And like he at least had the wits and the smarts. And again, I'm nitpicking. I'm happy that they told Mayo they were going to do something, and they did it. Because that doesn't happen a lot of times with employers, the real world, anything nowadays, who actually stands strong on something, on what they said they were going to do. So I'll award Robert Kraft on that. But I'm just saying I would have liked to see what Vrabel would have been in the mix. I'm
going to hop over to this. What does Belichick do now?
I don't know, man.
Because you're potentially the greatest coach of all time, but you couldn't get another job.
I think people.
What was that? I'll even start here. What do you think that was even about?
The Belichick leaving?
No, we know why he left. I'm saying why he couldn't, because he went to a couple interviews and everything. What do you think happened there?
It's just going to call. I try to think of like a real world way to explain it, but it's like you're going to hire Belichick.
He wants control.
He wants control, and everybody that you currently have under contract is fired. So you're going to pay Belichick $20 million a year.
Yeah.
And then you're going to pay whatever dead money these coaches had on their contracts.
Yeah.
To completely clean house, to step back and say, you have full control, and your previous boss gave you full control, and when you lost your all-time quarterback, you were unwilling to do it. You know what I mean? Or unable to do it.
Yeah.
And
so that's what you think happened. I'm agreeing with you. I think it was control.
I don't know why. Like, I've been in a position where I feel like I've built something from the ground up and I've left, right? Okay. And in retrospect, looking back, I wish I would have like brought things down to nothing before I left. You know what I mean? Like you got nothing that you don't want me anymore. Fine, you don't have anything that I brought here.
So
you know what I'm saying?
How is that different from what he did?
To me, it's almost like I'm not. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So did Belichick like set himself saying, okay, like I'm gonna light this place on fire so bad that now no place is willing to
jam
trust
him up?
Yeah.
That's your argument. That's why you don't do that.
And was that worth it? And also, like I feel like he's like, okay, I want to coach my kids. I want to be in control of who I'm working with. Yeah. And was that 5 years of you working with your sons? Was that worth it to ride your career out like that? Maybe it was. Family over everything, right? That's what everybody always says, was hanging out with your sons.
You don't have a job.
Bro, he's paid.
Yeah, but I feel like he's one of these dudes.
He's bouncing around Martha's Vineyard with his jeans on and no shirt, bro.
No, but these guys, he's mental. He's a football.
I agree with you. Yeah, he doesn't have anything right now. Yeah,
like I feel like Brady is struggling with that. I don't care what anybody says. These cats struggle.
Yo, Brady,
I think he's
is going to be looking
that.
like handsome Squidward sooner rather than later.
They struggle with that.
His face is getting funny looking.
So you say ever since you were what, 5 years, 6 years old?
Probably even say his dad was a coach.
This is all.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's all you ever know.
And then all of a sudden, the lights get turned off.
Yeah, but he turned the lights off.
Yeah, but
he left that play, like when you watch his exit interview, like it's not like we came to a mutual decision. Like it's like he basically was like, and we're gonna be moving on. Like we, as in me and my brain trusts, we're gonna be moving on.
To what?
To
you're
not
going home. You're riding off into the pasture.
To not having you interfere with what I wanted to do, and like you'll never know if Belichick's plan actually would have ever came to fruition because Robert Kraft interfered and put his foot down and half-sided with Brady, half-sided with Belichick. You know what I mean? Like this whole disintegration of everything, like, is centered around, I feel like, Robert Kraft being kind of wishy-washy.
You think so?
Like so let's go back to Garoppolo getting traded.
Okay.
Right?
Boom.
What is that? Like the 2017 season, I think?
Well, that's because Bill stepped in.
No, because Kraft stepped in.
He wanted,
right, because the narrative was that...
No, Brady stepped in. Let's keep it a buck. He felt like Belichick wanted this dude.
And he did want that dude because when they were having negotiations to send Garoppolo to San Francisco, Belichick walked it back and said, well, what are you going to give me for Brady?
That's what I'm saying.
And that's a known... I believe Shanahan put that on the record.
So that's what I'm saying.
You go back to that. Obviously, Brady gets wind of that. You know what I mean? You want to get me out of here. And so now Brady's pissed, right?
That's when he went to Kraft.
But then, okay, now Kraft comes in and puts his foot down, and now Bill's pissed. So now everybody's fucking pissed because you're being wishy-washy, right? So either you have the nuts to trade Brady, or you have the nuts to say, Bill, you're a delusional old man.
That's exactly what he did. That's what Kraft did.
But then it should have been like, you're out of here.
To Belichick.
You're crazy. No. You want to trade Tom Brady? You're done. You have Alzheimer's. You can't run my team anymore. You want to trade Tom Brady? Get out of here. And I'll give it to you. They got another chip because of Belichick's defensive genius against Sean McVay's Rams. But now you had the two best people in your company just sitting there being mad at each other. And you think good stuff is going to happen with that? But in any other corporate situation, a restaurant, whatever, the two best people in the restaurant hate each other. You think that's a good working environment?
In that, but I'm saying that he was caught in the middle of them two. How do you want him to act? And at that point in time, you weren't really like right now. We can say without a doubt, Brady was the main guy. At that time, you still weren't sure who was responsible for your championships.
I won't say that without a doubt because I think football is the biggest reflection of team sports.
That's what I'm saying. You said the key word and reflection. We look back and say, how could we have thought that? But at that point in time, you weren't sure that if it was Belichick or if it was Brady for the championships.
I'm still not sure.
That's my point.
Like so it's a team. It's the biggest reflection of 53 guys and a coaching staff and an ownership group and whatever you call the GMs got all them. They all have to come together and make magic happen. Like that's what's special about winning a Super Bowl.
I'm gonna have to defend Kraft on that one because I think he didn't want to upset. It's you've been in between. This is your boy and that's my boy. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah,
exactly. And you wish that those two could get along, but they just don't.
Yeah, but they don't. So on that aspect, are you gonna go?
Are you cutting one of them off? Be honest with yourself.
I'm not gonna cut them off, but I'm not. Exactly. I'm no longer going to associate with the two of them at the same time.
That's what I'm saying.
They drew the line in the sand.
Exactly.
Not me.
But you still. But
you're causing problems in my environment. So I think that's you asked me where did it all go awry? It all went awry there in mismanaging that in that situation. And from that point out, Brady had spite for Belichick. Belichick had spite for Robert Kraft. And at that point, does Belichick just say, you know what? You're paying me $20 million a year. I still have all this control. I'm going to bring my sons in. I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm going to ride this thing out until I drain you of every last red cent that I can take from you and drive this thing off a cliff at the same point. Boom. You know what I mean?
Like, and all the owners saw that.
Yeah. And now why would you want to give full control to this guy? You know? And how old is he? He's like 70-something years old.
He's still not the oldest. Pete Carroll was older than him.
And he's fired too. That's your cousin, Day-Day? You fired too.
But anyway, man, I don't know. What do you think? I don't want to keep going on, but who's the odds-on favorite? We'll end it with this. Who's the odds-on favorite in your eyes next year? Who is it?
How do you not put the odds on Mahomes to three-peat?
Has that ever been done?
No. Maybe you have to go back to like before the merger. Who's the dude that played for the Browns? He won like he was in something like 10 straight championship games. Either like the 10 straight, I think, game to get to the finals or finals. I can't remember his name, but he was a hell of a player. Well, I don't know how you don't give it to the Chiefs. If you look on the other side, who was like the final four in the NFC? Like, I think the Lions were a Cinderella story. Do I see them really coming back? Green Bay, I don't see them making too much noise. Dallas, I don't see them making too much noise.
You got to pick somebody. Who?
On the NFC side?
Who on the NFC? San Fran? I think San Fran still be legit.
I don't know. There's a lot of stats on teams that lose the Super Bowl. The season they get decimated in free agency, and then they don't have a good showing the next year.
Pick apart your coaching staff too.
Free agency.
You're gonna say, here's the thing with Detroit.
I mean, Mike McCarthy's gonna be coaching for his job. Does that mean anything? Like he's playing on an expiring contract.
Detroit, you're seeing Detroit coming now. Before they kind of caught you off guard. They're not gonna sleep on Detroit anymore.
Okay, so here's another thing to bring it back, right? The Super Bowl where Belichick benches Malcolm Butler.
Yeah.
Right? How many guys left Belichick's, like how many of his disciples said,
no,
you cost us that game?
Move. I'm mocking with you.
So is there some of that going on with how Dan Campbell managed that game against the Niners? You know what I mean? Are some
because they were beating the brakes off of them?
Are some of his generals being like,
I
love the guy, but you
messed up.
And does that affect free agency? Does that affect guys coming in, guys going out?
Say. In my eyes, Detroit's done. In my eyes,
yeah.
So who is you're gonna say? Because Green Bay kind of came out of nowhere at the end.
Yeah.
Jordan Love.
I mean, dude, all the quarterbacks seem to be like in the AFC now, right? All the quarterbacks we talk about, Lamar, Josh Allen,
Mahomes.
But all those guys are. It's crazy.
Burrow.
Burrow. We talked about the deal that Mahomes signed as if it was going to be this team-killing thing, right? And
still, because he took it, like you said, it's such a long time.
There's a certain amount of deferment in it.
Yes,
there's deferment in it as well. So
you're exactly. That's why I always tell people when you start seeing 10 and 12 years. That's a team-friendly deal because all they're gonna do is
they're all void years.
Exactly,
yeah.
And you're gonna do stuff in the meantime with the money you have now.
Yeah,
like when you start seeing more years that in NFL, it's not good. It's not. It's a team-friendly thing in my eyes. That's how I look at it. But anyway, man.
So yeah, I said all that about the AFC to say all those guys are going into years where the quarterbacks do occupy a substantial amount of the cap space. So they go down or their top weapon goes down, it's going to be tough for those teams to fill in. You know what I mean? So even next year coming, is next year going to be like the dark horse Super Bowl where you didn't see anybody coming from it, It all depends on injuries, man. Like the injuries dictated so much this year. Look at all the starting quarterbacks that went down.
Yeah. It makes you to yourself say, we definitely have to have not only the second guy, maybe even the third guy in the chamber ready to go.
What about is Aaron Rodgers going to do anything next season? He's coming back into the mix.
He's coming back, but to me, this division is nuts now. I feel you can probably, and even I think the Patriots.
We didn't say anything about Miami. They had a season to talk about if you're going to go back.
I don't think the Patriots can do any worse than last year.
I think they should try to do worse than last year. We need some better.
In my eyes,
we need to find Willie McGinnis at number 5 again. That was the whole jumpstart of this last 20 years.
Rodgers, he's coming back, but you're coming back too.
He's coming back off an Achilles, being 40 years old and playing for the Jets.
Yeah, you're not.
I'm just saying it's a storyline on that side of the ball. Who the hell? Name another quarterback in the NFC.
I can't.
Like, who are we? We got to be missing somebody. We're forgetting somebody that got hurt or like.
I don't know. Man.
I guess in honor of Paul, I'm gonna say Dallas.
Dak.
Yeah.
Biggie Dak.
At some point, Jerry Jones has got to do something before he dies. He's been a Robert Goodell loyalist for too long not to have it pay off for him.
So. I don't want to jump on Dallas, but I have to. I felt like that was the squad. Like, where do you go from? Do they get better than that? I don't know how you get better than that.
Yeah, I don't.
Unless you grab Derrick Henry or grab, I don't know.
I think that was the problem is you didn't have like and that goal line short yardage back.
Come in and do that to you.
Yeah.
Who was Green Bay?
And you know what's crazy about what they did to them? Like, they did it to them with what they lacked the most, like the power run game. They didn't have a power run game, and they couldn't stop the power run game. That's not a recipe for playoff success. So maybe I gotta walk my pick back on that.
I don't know. But anyway, man, thanks for coming through, man.
Yeah.
Yo, we're gonna run it back. Whenever you want to do it, man. I'm always available on Tuesdays.
I don't know. Let's try to do it next Tuesday. 45, yeah. Pedro Martinez.
Yeah, we'll get it. We're gonna run it back Tuesday. So if you're listening and you want to join the chat and you want to chop it up with us, come back, Kings. Episode 44 in the books. My man Ryan signing us off, baby. We out.
See you next week.
Peace. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.